The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the September 29th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there's having a great day. And let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, let's go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. And much more important than that, during this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in, 877-927-6648. Phone lines are open. If you can't call in, we've got you covered there, too. You can always let those fingers do the walking. Go ahead, send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. And, of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to Lush Show. Right now, we got most of the indices trading down. The Dow's off 200 points to 11, to be exact, off about 0.75%. S&P 21, NASDAQ 41, Russell's off 12. Semis are trading higher by 5 points out there. Spot Volatility is trading higher by 81 cents, trading just above its 50-day exponential moving average. Gold's up $17. Looks like it wants to continue to move higher. Silver's up 77 cents. Also wanting to go attack Stevie's oscillator on change line, your oscillator on change line as well. Natural gas pulling back. I believe it tested support at the bottom of its profile this morning. Maybe we'll check in on that, see if that is held. Leading the charge dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Shopify up $44. Restoration Hardware up 17. Quidel Corp 17. That's 9% Beyond Meat, which is Beyond Meat, but $13 to the upside. I like my fruits and vegetables as fruits and vegetables, and then I like my meat as meat. I don't like my fruits and vegetables to act like meat, or certainly my meat to act like fruits and vegetables. But that's just Stevie out there. TTD, the trade desk, that's up about $12, up nearly 2.5%. To the downside, Mercado Libre is off 2% or $22. Amazon, $12. Vail Resorts down 11 or 5% out there. So we've got, of course, things to look at. I want to look at what you want to look at. So what do you want to look at? I tell you what we should look at. Let's just go take a look at short-term time frame. We can take a look at the daily time frames out here. Let's go look at short-term time frames. There's really two signals out here that identified a potential short-term bottom. Let's see if they can hold up here. The first one being the weekend to see the Russell 2000. What this did, unfortunately, I can't draw the A to B equals CD on this version of the software, and the other version is trying to reboot. I don't know what it's doing, quite frankly. But you can see the A point out here. I'll just use my cursor. Hopefully you can follow along. That was at about 1:30 this morning when it generated Rhodes momentum indicator top. Went ahead and moved down to the European opening range. That took place between 3 and 3:30. That level was tested at 4:30. Price just simply consolidated in between that European opening range. That's the blue horizontal lines. Price got down below that, but the C point was right out here. That took place at 10:30 this morning. So this made a 1-to-1 or 1-to-1.272 A to B equals CD pattern, and it confirmed that with this bullish engulfing candle session. Might have even been a key reversal at 12:30. Now, what price then, what that gives the bulls the ability to do is try to bust out resistance. So where's resistance? Well, resistance was Stevie's red line. And because that red line was green and it just changed colors, the message that we got as we came on the air at 1 o'clock was bearish. So now you've got the real duking it out between the bulls and the bears, because you have a bullish message that was established by that buy the D point, that Gartley buy pattern that formed out here at 12:30. Watch 1486.20. If that gives way, price is going to head down to 1475.70. You heard it here. but there is a bottom of a daily profile. So this by the D point may hold, but you do have a bearish message as a result of testing Stevie's red line and rejecting that level. But now price will have to bust out that resistance level, the bottom from 1230 out there. And if it does, 1475.70 is on the horizon. Let's go take a look at the ES Mini. The ES Mini doing the same thing this morning, or this afternoon, generating a buy the D point, a Gartley buy point out here. And that's because this also created an A to B equals CD to the downside. This was a 1-to-1 or 1 to 1.272. This was created, or began being formed at 12 o'clock, and it was formed by 1. And that was because it created the Three River Morning Star. So that's the bullish reversal candle. That makes the low from the trading session at 12:30 at 33.1750 a key level. If price closes below that, it's got support at 33.1175. That's its TD9 breakout area, and then below that 32.99. Still at this stage of the game here, the retracements that we've looked at, whether we look at the Russell 2000 or the ES Mini, neither of those have broken through short-term support. If there's going to be a change in trend, those short-term support levels will begin to fall. What do you mean short-term support levels? Remember, these are not short-term support levels that I've created. These are short-term support levels created by the system. Oh, don't tell me that's not here. Let me see if it's over in this little area. Yeah, so here, let me do this. Now, this won't have the Russell 2000 on it. This has got the ES, the NQ, and the YM. But here, you can see, now this is just showing us our TD9 support levels. Support and actually resistance. The green lines are resistance. The red lines are support. There's going to be a change in trend. The ES Mini will begin closing below these breakout support levels. So there's your 33.11. There's your 32.99. In the case of the NQ, the number is 11.233. Anything below that, you're looking at 11.173. Inside the Dow Equity Futures contract, it has closed below a breakdown or breakout level of support. It's testing its second area at 27.258. We're at 27.244. What's below that? 27.143. No bullish reversal candle or anything along those lines inside the Dow Equity Futures contract. So it's the ES and the Russell 2000. Now, the NQ, let's continue going back. Let me go back to those other charts because they had more tools on them. So give me a second here to just pull back. So we looked at the ES, we looked at the Russell. Let's go take a look at the NQ. Here, you're going to see that breakout level of support. That's the red dashed line, 11.246.25 and 11.233 out here. See wave number 7, letter G, up at the highs. But again, no bottoming pattern, no A to B equals CD, no nothing out here. But price also, and we can see that price is now starting to act as resistance at Stevie's red line, which was just tested, and this on the 30-minute time frame during this half-hour period. So this is the 1 to 130 bar out there. And that qualifies as a bearish reversal. And so this is suggesting that the NQ should pull back to 11.233. That's the TD9 breakout area. If that's going to do it, I would imagine the other indices are going to move lower too. But we'll have to watch. The Russell's got a bottom pattern. So does the ES Mini for its 30-minute time frame out here. No reason really to pull over the Dow because there's nothing else to really show you there. So that's what's going on short term. Let's take a look at a little bit larger picture. What do we have going on from a larger picture standpoint? Well, from a larger picture standpoint, we can absolutely make the argument that the counter trend rally is over. Why can we make that argument, Steve-O? Well, if you take a look at the ES Mini, you can see where price stopped overnight, right at the top of its TAS market profile. That's printing to 33.53. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So before we were going to that break, we were taking a look at the ES Mini out here. I made the statement that we could conclude, we could make a conclusion that the counter trend rally is over, not just because it's just willy-nilly. We do that based on evidence that we have out here. So the evidence that we're looking at right now is specifically speaking about the ES Mini. And the chart that we're looking at, there's really 5 pictures out here. Look at the black background charts at the moment. What I'm using here is my synthetic symbol. My synthetic symbol allows me to stitch together the futures contracts in a way to have meaningful TAS market profile data versus using the continuous contract. And so it gives you and I an edge out here because the profiles oftentimes are different than we take a look at the current contract, especially if it's in the early stages of the contract. Plus, I couldn't get quarterly and monthly profile information that would be meaningful. But here we have that. And we can see that, so all that we know at this stage here is price behavior did what it was supposed to do. The ES Mini, bullish structured profile, formed a couple of days ago. And once price got above the center of that, we saw it close above that 2 days ago. Price should have been able to push up all the way to the top. That's in fact what it did. So, but just because it hits resistance does not guarantee us that that's the end of a move. Because you and I knew where resistance was at. And so there's sellers out there. But it's got the potential that if the counter trend rally were to have ended, that would have been the number. That was the number. We've talked about it for days out here, 30 or a couple days, 33.53. If price closes over 33.53, and that's still a possibility. Remember, we looked at the short-term time frame. The ES Mini has not broken through a key level of support. I guarantee you, in a bear market, you have to start breaking breakout levels of support on an intraday basis in order to get some type of change in trend. Otherwise, it's just an intraday pulling back to test support areas. So we really can't, even though we can draw a conclusion, that conclusion has not been proven when it comes to the S&P 500 or the ES Mini. You start breaking those short-term breakout areas, well, then that can become a different picture. Now, we also have the daily time frame out here, and this will be important to watch today. The ES Mini trading around 33.22. Stevie's green line is 33.38 is what we'll call it. Yesterday's slight close above it. We're back below that level out there because a close above a green line says you've got more rally. And more rally, well, we already know where resistance is at because we've hit that in the ES Mini. So if price closes back above that, that'd be signaling to me that it's getting ready, it being the ES Mini, is getting ready to take out 33.53 and head to where? 34.17. would be the top of its bullish or bearish structured weekly profile. Are we there yet? No. What I'm doing is I'm giving you the number to watch, so at the end of the day, you'll have an understanding of what the market is communicating to you. So if price closes below 33.38, you don't have any message unless we see the ES mini on its short-term basis. Well, I'll give you that number. Give me a second here. Pull up the chart again and let this thing populate. So the only way you get a true all-out potential change in trend signal, or at least that you head back to the bottom of that profile, would be a close in the ES mini below 33.1175. In other words, what I'm saying is don't jump on the short train just because of what I said. If you want to jump on that short train, wait till you see short-term support fail out here, just to get a clearer message. Okay, so that was the ES mini out here. Let's go take a look at the next one, the big dog out here, the NASDAQ, because the NASDAQ offers us a different message right now. So which one is the real message? Well, it offers a slightly different message. Here, if we take a look at the NQ, we take a look at the left panel, upper left-hand panel. What did the NQ do? Where did it stall at? Well, the actual high inside the NQ is 11,448.75. The top of the box, 11,450.75. You have to like that. So what has price done? It has stopped right at resistance out here. This, so we could make the argument again that this is where the counter trend rally would end. But if that were the case, there's a couple of other aspects that you would see inside the NQ, and they are not present at the moment. So it's got the potential for that being the turn. What are those things that it doesn't have? Well, if you take a look at the daily time frame chart, what price did yesterday was closed above Stevie's green line. Now, that green line has substantial meaning, folks. When price is above that, it's telling you that price wants to continue moving higher, but you've got to identify resistance. We've done that by getting to that daily profile. Nonetheless, price is still above that today. That is still bullish. Yes, it's the tug of war. It's the battle. It's the football game. It's the sixth game of the Stanley Cup. It's knowing where the blue line is at. It's knowing all of those things. You need to know that. Well, in this case here, the NQ is simply pulled back to test support. Stevie's green line, suggesting that it wants to head higher. So you would need to see a close below Stevie's green line. That's currently printed at 11,282. That's on the daily time frame. So 11,282, remember that because I'll forget that in a second. And then let's go take a look at what is the number that the NQ on a short-term basis needs to close below. I don't remember that number. I hope you do out there, or at least you wrote it down. I'm multitasking. Zillions of things going on. Well, just really a couple. But the number that we'd be watching would be 11,233. The NQ would have to close below 11,233 to then signal to you, okay, this may have legs to the downside, may even be the change in trend that takes us down into the for another 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 years. I don't know what the time period is, but price must break below, close below, breakout levels of support, and we're using a 30-minute time frame as one of those. So the NQ has a similar message, but yet it's flat out bullish right now. Price just ran into resistance. That's it. It's resistance that you knew about. You knew about it because we looked at it on Stevie's charts out here, and we looked at and you'll see the synthetic version here at 11,450 is different than when I take us back here to the December contract. What we had out here was 11,362. So you see, what you have right now is a total competitive advantage and a set of tools here that very few people that I know of. When I say very few, I mean very few people have this tool out here, the Super Doppler, Advanced Doppler tool out here, and most folks don't have access to this composite symbol that we've created. But it's really helpful to you and I to understand what's going on out here. So that's the NQ, that's the ES. What else should we look at out here? I know what we're going to do. We're going to go to a question. We had a question that came in by email. This one came in from Rick K. And Rick says, can you please provide a short-term guidance on Apple? I currently own it at 110. So let's go take a look at Apple. First, by taking a look at its profiles, daily, weekly, and monthly. So, Rick, here's what we know. You're asking for like short-term. I don't know what short-term means, but here's what I can share with you. The daily time frame chart has a bullish structured daily profile for Apple. And what that is communicating to you and I is that Apple should be able to make a run for 117.26. If you're asking me where support is at, Support is at 107.82. This is a bullish structured profile on your daily time frame. If you were going to ask me where is weekly support is at 103.80. That is the bottom of its weekly profile. That was tested last week. That held. Price now is trading above the center of its bearish structured profile, which is up at 113.56. The top is 118.45. As long as price remains above that, the 117.26 from the daily message is still in place out here. So the question, Rick, that you and I should ask ourselves, and we're going to ask it and then we're going to go answer it. I don't know what the answer is until we ask the question, and then we go figure it out. Why hasn't Apple made that run higher out there? Is there any reason that you and I can find? So let's go look at the daily time frame charts. I see we're going to a hard breakout here, but let's pull over this chart of Apple, and what do we see? We see that price has stopped dead in its tracks, in essence, at Stevie's green line. And that's at 114.66 out there, and that's a number you'd love to see Apple close above. That'll give you your 117.26. Does this mean that it's bearish at this stage of the game? And the answer is no, not really. We'll be right back. Back in the day, I joined the Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Back up, folks. So we're taking a look at Apple for Rick Kay, who's in at $110, and just looking for some guidance as to what price might be doing out here. You know, folks, all you and I are doing each day as we take a look at a chart, doesn't matter what the time frame is. We're agnostic to the symbol and really the time frame. We're just using the exact same set of tools out here. It's really like it's the Waze version. You know, most of you probably use Waze out there. Maybe you say, hey, I'm giving you too much information or something out here. You know, when I use Waze, I like to know when there's cars pulled over on the side, and when there's something that's in the middle of the road, you know, a tire, who knows what it might be, where the police are at, all those types of things. So that's all that you and I are doing here as we take a look at it. So in the case of Rick, who's in at 110, what we're trying to understand was, is there any reason why Apple has stopped over the last 2 days? And voila, we have that answer. We can see that prices run right into Stevie's green line. Much like the NQ yesterday, closed slightly above it, still above it today as we speak. That's not the case with Apple. So, Rick, I would say that if Apple closed below Stevie's green line, again, that's in the 115 area is what we'll call it, that would suggest to you that price might move up to 117. But as long as price gets rejected by Stevie's green line, this is suggesting to you that it wants to make a run back for the 107.82 to 109.39 area. So, you know, that's what it's doing, at least on its daily time frame. On its weekly time frame out here, we can also see that Apple is below Stevie's green line. That's currently at 115.81. However, what price did was it pulled all the way back and it tested support. So in its weekly chart, hard to make a call on Taco Tuesday with regard to what the week is going to look like. But we do know that it's inside a bearish structured profile. So 115.81 is also another real key area of resistance out here. The monthly time frame, you know, there's clearly an A to B equals CD to the upside inside of Apple. So it has a monthly sell to D point. Support here would be about 93.74. And the weekly or the quarterly time frame doesn't show any kind of a major signal inside of Apple out there. So, Rick, that's what at this stage here at 1:32 in the afternoon, we'd say odds favor that what Apple wants to do is continue to pull back 107 to the 109 area. But I wouldn't exit it right now. I'd wait for, well, I'll do one more thing for you, because you said short term, and I don't know what short term means to you. Short term for some people means a 2-minute chart. We're not going to do that on this show, that's for sure. But what we can do is I can put up the 30-minute time frame chart out there. Let me get the symbol in here properly, just to see what it's doing, just to give you an idea out here. So we're going to look at the 30-minute time frame, same set of tools out here. Wait for this to populate. I don't know why it's taking so long to populate. Oh, that's because I've got the wrong symbol, AAPL, right? AAPL. That's why it's waiting on some symbol that doesn't exist. Okay, so now, Rick, you can see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom way back here at about 2:30 in the afternoon a couple of days ago, and now you can see we had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. This little bear separation line that formed out here. Let me get my cursor. I can tell you exactly when. That was at 10 o'clock this morning. And since then, price is just trading sideways. So there's no reason to exit Apple here just yet. Its key level of support that would have to be broken would be 111.18. That's the short term, the 30-minute TD9 breakout level of support. So, Rick, I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. Hey, let's go out to Michigan and speak with Gary. Gary, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Hey, great. And wasn't that a great final last night?
It was a great final, although it was pretty much over in the second period, right?
Well,
they got the two
but
goals.
You never know with hockey, right?
No, you absolutely. No. You know, Gary, those guys, I mean, both teams, think of it like this. I mean, this is, if you've ever played hockey, then what they had to do Friday and Saturday is almost unthinkable out there, because they're primarily going with 3 lines out there, 2 to 3 lines for the most part. And they played, in those 2 days, they played 3 games, over 3 games,
right.
3 in the third game, right? Because they went to double overtimes in each of those. I mean, that's a lot of that. And they did it back to back. So, you know, I would have to say that, and Tampa looked strong last night, didn't they? I mean, defense was.
They're my second favorite team. I'm a Chicago boy, close, but I have an affinity for the Red Wings because all the Swedes and the great ones like Zetterberg. But I love Victor, and he's from my cousin's hometown in Sweden.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's Modo. That's the one to look up, because that's the big hockey factory in northern Sweden that produced some of the greatest, Marcus Nesselin and some of the biggest names in hockey.
No doubt. I mean, the you know, the Swedes out there, and the Red Wings were the ones. Stevie Yzerman and
right.
you know, went on, became general manager. He's the general. I think I'm not sure what his title is with Tampa. I still believe he's with Tampa out there. But you know, one of the great ones And but still, the Detroit Red Wings, they really capitalized on the Swedes early out there. You had Holmstrom, you had Zetterberg.
Right.
I think was Zetterberg. It was Swedish. I don't know if Zetterberg was Swedish or not.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Zetterberg out there.
Yeah.
And Datsuk, although he wasn't from Sweden, I mean, what a master of moves. And some of those guys on skates, it is incredible. In fact, one of the commentators last night, I don't remember which one, he said what I think everybody was thinking. How do these guys even think of those moves in the middle of the play?
Right.
It's extraordinary. You just got to love talent out there. In any event, people are tired of us hearing us talk about hockey, and instead, I think they want to hear us talk about something that you want to talk about, I believe, which is Goldilocks. Or what is it that
gold and silver plates? Yeah. Well, and then I know we're a little early, but I'm looking to after hearing a couple of the guys coming in on Larry's show that I respect, and talking about maybe the end of the gold down cycle. I'm trying to time it to get back in because I've got a lot sitting on the sidelines to get back in, and if it's on its way back up. So I'm just trying to figure those numbers out, and you're great with the numbers, so.
So then I got to switch to just something else. I need to put the continuous contract up on my other screen here, just to kind of give the bigger picture too. But just with regard to some things, with regard to gold, what do we know about? If we take a look at gold, how's it trading all the major currencies today? It's at the high of the session for all those major currencies. So there's no reason for you, in other words, there's buyers at this stage of the game across the globe. So there's no reason for us to believe that won't continue to move higher. Now we need to go take a look at resistance levels and so forth. But with regard to how gold is trading on traders' desks around the globe, it's higher in terms of dollars. It's at the high of the session in terms of dollars, euros, yen, and pounds out there. Okay, does that help a little bit?
Sure.
Just a little. Okay. Now let's go take a look at what gold is doing with regard to its daily time frame for the futures contract. I believe there's a new profile that formed or is trying to form, and that is today. And the high of that profile is 1913.50. So based upon what we just said, Gary, take a look at how gold was trading in all the major currencies out here. I would say gold is very likely headed to 1913.50 out there. Over the course of, how many ever days or what have you. And I don't have anything to suggest otherwise. What questions do you have about gold here?
Is that a breakout point to take it even further? How far does it go up from that? I mean, if it breaks through the 1913.50, does it run up? Does it have a gap up or anything like that?
I'd say. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's. There's some trend lines I have. You're looking at the left hand. Wait a minute here. Hold on. We get back from this break. I gave you some wrong numbers, folks. So stay tuned. We'll correct those numbers for the December contract for gold as soon as we get back.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the December contract for gold right now. That's what's up on our screen here. Gary, I was looking at the wrong screen. So the price target from a profile standpoint for gold is the top of the daily box, and that's 1922. I gave you a figure different than that. So the first target is 1922. Okay. Now we're going to go take a look at some other things. Your question was, if price closes above that, is that a breakout? There's other resistance. And you can draw a couple of different trend lines like I've got drawn on my system out here. You can begin with the high from back on August the 7th, and then I'd say for the touch point you'd use September 16th. That trend line would be another spot for price to run to on an overshoot out there. Price range-wise, it's between the 1945 and 1960-ish type area. Those would be other targets. So, but right now, let's just deal with what we know today. And today, the suggestion is that gold should make a run for the 1922 area. However, much like in the case of Apple and some of the other instruments we looked at earlier, we can also see, and this was a giveaway yesterday, and I believe I discussed this in the newsletter yesterday, maybe on Friday, but I would think yesterday for sure, probably this morning, is that we can see that the oscillator and change line for gold has changed from green to red. And when that happens, Gary, there's a phenomenon. I can't explain to you why it happens. I just know that it does happen. I don't know the time frame that it takes. So, and that is that we should see price and the Stevie's oscillator and change line catch up to each other. It's almost like, Gary, have you heard of the what's it called? The death cross and the golden cross?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, you talk about, people hear the death cross, and you'll hear a commentator every now and then when it happens, the 50 cross the 200 simple moving average out there, folks. That's what the death cross is at. And the description of it is if, like, all holy heck is going to break loose out there. But if you go check out nearly every death cross that existed, not every single one, nearly every single one, you'll see that when that happens, we actually get to a point where the market begins to stall and potentially bottom out there. So, but in this case here, this kind of acts, I guess, a little bit like a death cross. When Stevie's oscillator and change line turns color, what we begin to see is the decline or the advance begin to stall, maybe move sideways, maybe pull back or retrace up. In this case here, it would be retracing up into Stevie's red line. That's priced at 1915. So the real price target now, Gary, for gold's move higher, we're at 1902, is 1915 to 1922. And we'll just have to take a look at what might be going on at that time to answer any further questions out here. But you were also mentioning something like this is the end of the move for what period of time, or what was the discussion there?
Well, the discussion was that the downside risk was minimal, as more of the upside was starting to move on a broader, longer-term basis, moving up to the 2,000 plus range again.
Got it. Yeah,
with a little bit of a blip in the middle of next month. I think October has a couple weeks. So I don't know if it was Stan Harley or one of the guys from Larry's show that came on, and is into gold quite a bit. So anyways, so I was looking for maybe and then if it doesn't break through, then it can go down to the reverse and go to the bottom, right? I mean, what's its range that we have to look at that it goes back down to?
Sure. So here, how I can answer that question is, so the weekly time frame chart for gold has a TD9 count top out here, and that was on bar number 8, August 7th, that identified that pattern. Price is below Stevie's green line at this stage here, and the real profiles to be looking at are not the ones that were on that continuous contract, the white background chart out here. It's really the ones in this black background chart. And so if price were to close below 1862.80 right now, that's the bottom of the December contract out there, the message to you and I about where gold is headed to would be 1706.20. That would become its first target. 1459.80 is another target to the downside out here. So I can't subscribe to the theory that at this stage here that the decline is over inside of gold because we've seen price break through weekly support actually inside of Goldilocks. So the daily time frame, this makes sense to me. What we're seeing, this little rally out here to Stevie's red line. I have to really see how price handles that before I can make the next comment about what gold's intentions are. On a monthly time frame out here, we also have a TD9 count. And I've got wave number 7. What's more important, though, is the TD9 count out here. And it looks like we've just got a few days left in September out here that's going to complete. That bar 9, which is this month, is going to do what it needs to do to confirm that. That says that what we should see is gold push back to test Stevie's green line. So that's 1780. So now we're looking at 1780, 1706. That is the range for a continued move lower. We have the valid topping signals out here. And on a quarterly basis, I don't have anything that identifies a top just yet, but so that's the way that the way that the charts are reading to me with the tools that I use. Gold would have to close above approximately 1968 and change right now to say, okay, I'm headed back to resistance. Doesn't tell you it will take it out, which would be the all-time high, but that I'd be headed back to resistance. So I'm a little bit. The charts are suggesting more caution to me than, hey, we've hit a bottom.
Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I mean, your thoughts in depth. So, and I read the report too. So I appreciate all of it. So there's a lot in your report. Believe me.
Yes. So
okay,
silver,
great education all the way through. It's you give your money's worth big time. Thank you.
Good. So silver here. So the interesting thing here is silver sending us a message, folks. Because if we take a look at the December contract, that is the left panel out here. You'll see that we've seen a bounce in silver too, and we're really seeing the bounce. I think because of the same situation. We've got the oscillator and change line, which has changed colors out here. But notice that there's a new profile that formed yesterday inside of silver. And when a profile forms above price, that's actually a bearish message. Doesn't mean that silver can't bounce up to the bottom of that profile, which is 25.93, but it's a bearish message. It tells us there's a lot of supply overhead. So is silver giving us an overall message with regard to precious metals? I don't know. But what silver really still should do is bounce up to Stevie's red line before it provides you and me and anybody else with regard to what its intent is. But right now its intent is suggesting that it wants to make a move up to the 25.35 area. And then we'll have to see what happens when price approaches that range out there. In the very short term out here, within the next, it's 2 o'clock, within the next, by 2:30, so between 2 and 2:30, we may start to see some type of decline inside of silver. May, because of the TD9 count pattern that's in place for silver on a 30-minute time frame. Let's see if the golds matches that as well. You'd like both of these in congruent, so to speak. So we're in bar number 8, so it's about a half an hour behind. But this is suggesting that we should begin to see some type of stalling. Doesn't mean that gold and silver won't still hit their ultimate objectives, but we do have a short-term topping signals that are present between now and 3 o'clock. So if you begin to see gold or silver pull back, it hasn't changed our outlook. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just based on that shorter-term time frame. Okay?
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Hey, you bet.
And be well.
And you bet. And thanks for a little bit of that hockey talk. That was Gary in Michigan. Good old good old Michigander. You know, this is the time of the year to be up there. Next time Gary calls, we're going to have to talk about cider mills. Nothing like on a Sunday during NFL season to get a nice, warm, fresh cinnamon donut along with some nice apple cider. Ooh, that takes me back. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be back in just a few.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Well, questions that have come in. The first one from Dennis G. So he wants to understand Harmony Gold. So Harmony Gold formed a seventh wave move. That was letter G out here. This was back on September 24th. We can see that a couple days prior to that, Stevie's green line had changed colors. Since then, we've seen price move up. And so what price is going to do here, Dennis, is test the 549 level. A close above 549 says it continues to move higher. A test and rejection of 549, well, then you've got your resistance level and your support becomes the low from September 24th, and any close below that would bring about 447. So you're looking for a close above 549 inside of Harmony Gold. That was based upon the daily time frame. I'm doing this quickly here because see if I can get these questions in. We had another question. Take a look at MMM. MMM, this one was from Vicky, I believe. So let's just take a look at it, what its signals to us are. That is 3M. At this stage here, 3M looks like it has held the support of the bottom of its daily profile. No bottom signal or anything. If you see a close below 159.58, Price should make a run to 152.10. That is where 3M broke out. Another question to take a look at the U.S. dollar index. If we take a look at it, the U.S. dollar index generated a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom way back here in the early part of September. Today's close right now would negate this little TD9 count pattern out here. I don't see anything wrong. It's made an A to B equals CD to the upside. It completed that, but we don't have a bearish reversal candle. So it looks like the U.S. dollar index just pulling back to test Stevie's red line. That's at the 93.62 area. And the last question came in with SAVA is the ticker symbol, SAVA. Let me see if we can get this up on the screen. I got it on the wrong one. Should I wait till a confirmation rejection of breakout support line, trend line, blah, 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 blah. So in this case here, I don't have enough information right now. This is still the daily chart on SAVA, S-A-V-A. It's still bullish. No topping signal or anything along those lines. If you're asking where is it you'd buy, 984 could be one spot. That is Stevie's green line. Folks, stay tuned for 2 more great hours. Your favorite polar bear, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'll be back with you on Wonderful Wednesday. Have a terrific Tuesday. Be safe out there.